So NFL Network from Good Morning Football, former defensive back Jason McCourty was asked a backup quarterback who could have a magic finish to this season as a starter. Here's his answer.
I'm going to make my case for Joe Flacco with the Browns.
Okay.
I love the Jake Browning and that experience on Monday, but you look at the Bengals, they're in the 10th spot. Can he be able to pull them up through all those teams that are in front of him? For the Browns and their defense and where they already sit, Joe Flacco, he can come in and possibly do just enough. He has some good throws in that game early on against the Rams. Yes, you look at the score, and it seems that it was a worse game than what it actually was. They were in that game till the end, and the Rams got some scores late in that one. What we saw Flacco last year with the Jets, and now him being signed late, to me, that is true magic, where you're like, how the hell did this happen? I don't know where his hands were, how he pulled his hat out of the rabbit out of the hat, but somehow he was able to do it. So I'm making my case for old Joe Flacco.
Quincy, the Joe Flacco DTR debate. Just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're very similar quarterbacks at this point. Joe Flacco, he's going to struggle throwing the ball deep. We saw it, like the 3 deep balls he threw this year. They kind of floated on him, but he did really good in that intermediate stuff. We saw DTR have some success in that intermediate stuff. I think your chances to win don't really fluctuate greatly between those two quarterbacks. DTR gives you more of an element of running the ball with him. Like he can just break out, make a play with his legs if it becomes congested on a 3rd and 3, which is something that Joe Flacco can't do. But Joe Flacco is a veteran. He's going to probably make more consistent decisions with the football. So I think that balances out to relatively similar quarterback play from both guys, right? Like, I just don't think it matters as much who starts at quarterback for the Browns as long as it's DTR or Joe Flacco. I think those are fine options. It's a pretty good place to be at. The Browns, they're going to win or lose games for the rest of the season based on that defensive line. That's going to be the through point of it, right? Nobody on offense is carrying them to victory. It's going to be the defensive line. So that's just where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and I've said all week, the thing is the ball comes out of Joe Flacco's hands a little quicker. DTR gives you, like you said, the ability to threaten a defense with his legs. I'd have a package for both. I would use DTR. I would start Flacco. I'd use DTR just because I think he gives you an element of something else that the defense has to worry about.
The one thing you do have to worry about with Joe Flacco, because DTR and Joe Flacco actually get rid of the ball kind of similarly, like very quick. Both of them under 2.5 second time to throws. I think they're both really quick to get rid of the football. It's just how many throws does he have before it starts to matter that he's 38, right? Like, is this going to be a thing where he's much better at the beginning of the games than he is at the end of games? Is this going to be a thing where he's not somebody who plays well off back-to-back weeks? Like, the age thing is a factor with Joe Flacco, and we really have to see how that plays out. I anticipate that the first 2 games with Joe probably going to be the best that you can get out of him. We'll see what you get out of him after that. And he took a lot of hits in that game. The body just doesn't recover at 38 the same way it does at 25. And that's another thing that you have to monitor with Joe Flacco is he might be able to give you a vintage Joe Flacco performance every once in a while. But part of aging is that you can't reproduce those kind of performances on a weekly basis.